Hello everyone, welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have Peter. Peter is from Houston in Texas in the USA. So let's see what Peter has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hello there.
Hello Peter, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Sure thing.
So tell me, how's your day going so far, Peter?
Well, as you know, I'm 6 hours behind you. It's almost 10 a.m. here, and I'm getting ready to run some errands and to uh, watch some college football. So that's about it.
Amazing. So tell
Mhm.
me, where are you from, Peter?
I live in Houston. I travel to the UK once or twice a year to do wrestling with GBW Wrestling and sometimes with FFE. And I also have a both a Watch Fighters and a Meat Fighters channel with all my different wrestling matches, and got into the sport a little late, but I think it was a great step for me. I think it just redefined everything. So
Wow, amazing. And Houston is the place where you're born and raised?
yes.
So tell me, what was the best part of growing up in Houston, in Texas?
Oh, let's see. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm 56 years old. I'm pretty old, but I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and it was just a remarkable time. Everybody was focused on Houston right after the moon landing of 69. So everybody started moving here to be part of the space program in the 70s. And also, that was when the oil prices just skyrocketed. So you had people who were making millions overnight. And it was a very interesting
Oh,
time. The last 50 years have just been awesome.
oh wow. And beside the wrestling world, what's
Mhm.
your profession? What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm an online college administrator, and I help out students who are trying to get their education online. I started doing it, about 10 years ago, but it wasn't until COVID started that it really took off. So most
Um,
kids now prefer to do a combination of study at home and study on campus. So it's working out.
Amazing. Okay, Peter, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your journey as a wrestler and also
Mhm.
about your point of views, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Amazing. Are
Scooch
you ready,
back a little. There we
are
go.
you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories of life and share your point of views?
Yes, I am.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random questions, okay? I'm just
Okay.
gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question, right?
All right. No problem.
Let's do it. Right, so before I start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't talk about, don't answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, what's the best gift have ever received and why you consider that?
Oh, geez. I think the best gift I ever received was my last year in high school, and my parents bought me a new car. And well, I just was totally unprepared for that.
Wow.
And that was probably the nicest thing they ever did. I still remember it to this day. It was a 1988 um, Mazda Topaz. They don't make them anymore, but yeah.
Wow. Did you like school growing up?
Oh yes, I was very good at it, and I got a partial scholarship to the University of Texas, who is, by the way, playing today.
Wow.
So that's what I'm wearing my college colors today. So
That's amazing. And
yeah.
who was your favorite teacher at the time?
Oh gosh. I really didn't have a favorite per se. They just came and went.
See. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, Peter. Next question is, If you could be a character in a movie, who that would be and why?
Oh, that's easy. I would be James Bond.
Tell me why.
Definitely. Well, it's I really got into the franchise. I love the whole glamour aspect. My three favorite ones in no particular order are Sean Connery, Roger Moore, and Daniel Craig. And I think Daniel just really redefined the role. I identify so much with him, probably because we're the same age.
Uh-huh.
So when he did Casino Royale, I was blown away. I was like, if I could switch places with him, I would do that. And
Wow.
I think it carries over into the whole wrestling thing too.
Wow. Okay, let's say one day you wake up in the morning and you had three missed calls on your phone. One from one of those three you just mentioned right now, the actors. Which
Hmm.
one you call back straight away? Which one you send a message saying I'll call you later? And which one you go like, okay, I can call him another time.
First one would be Sean Connery,
Okay.
just simply just to defer to his experience and the fact that he was one of my first crushes. Then I text Daniel Craig, and then Roger Moore would be like, "Hey, I'll call him back later."
Amazing. When was the last time that you watched one of the James Bond movie?
Actually, it was probably about a week or two ago on BBC America. They were doing a replay of Goldfinger, and that's one of my favorite movies.
Wow,
So I was, again, just captivated by the whole thing. I just loved it.
amazing. Next question, let's do it. Peter, before the next question, of course, Christmas, it's just around the corner right now. Yeah?
Mhm.
So my question for you is, what's the meaning of Christmas for you?
Definitely, it's the concept of peace on earth and goodwill towards others. I think that the best example of that was during the First World War, where there was an actual Christmas truce between the British and the German um, lines in the trenches. And there's actually a video on YouTube with a clip from a specific movie that shows how they broke uh, the fighting and just had a Christmas truce.
Wow. Okay, so if you could send a Christmas message for the whole world right now, what would you say?
Love each other, be kind to each other, understand each other, and embrace each other.
Beautiful, beautiful. And how are you going to spend Christmas this year?
Probably with my family. We get a lot of people that come in from out of town, so it's usually about 20 of us. And it's always a fun time. My nieces and nephews are all grown up now, and hopefully very soon I'll be a great uncle. So we'll see.
Amazing. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is, would you rather be visible or be able to fly? And what would you do?
Oh, that's a hard one because I like both. I like the concept of being able to sneak around with nobody able to see me, but at the same time, I've always had this image of myself flying. Even though, believe it or not, I'm afraid of falling. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of falling. So when
Right.
I see people doing these weird, poses on Instagram on top of like cliffs or buildings, I just shudder to myself. It was like I would get vertigo. Um, but yeah, probably the flying one would be fun.
If you could fly anywhere in the world right now, right this moment, where would you
Mm,
fly?
Greece.
And why Greece?
Well, partly because my heritage is Anatolian Greek. They were ethnic Greeks that lived in what's now considered Turkey. But also, it's just going there. I just reconnect to my roots, and it's like, spending time with, you know, perfect strangers that you probably would know in another lifetime. I speak four languages, and Greek is one of them.
Wow.
So it's always nice for me to go there and just embrace my heritage.
Oh my God. So you speak English, Greek, and which other language?
Spanish and French.
Spanish and French. And why Spanish and why French?
Well, Spanish because here in Texas we're just so close to Mexico. We're on the border with Mexico, and we get a lot of people in Houston who come here from Mexico, Central America, and South America. So it's practically our second language. French because I have a lot of friends in the continent whose English is kind of shaky, and people my age and older learn French as a second language instead of English. Of course, now everybody's learning English, but um, French is also convenient for me when I go to either Europe or Canada. So,
Amazing. I love that.
mhm.
Next question. Let's do it. You like dancing, Peter?
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Okay, next question is, what is the first thing that you think about when you wake up?
What I have to do that day. Because I'm always been a planner. I always have to get everything in order before I get up out of bed and just make it all happen. I'm very disciplined in that.
What's the biggest joy of being Peter? What do you like the most about being you?
Oh, just making new friends and having new experiences and uh, learning from other wrestlers and teaching others. It's always been that part of me. I like to share myself.
Amazing. Next question, ready?
Hmm.
Let's do it. Next one.
Okay.
Okay, before the next question, let's talk about wrestling. So tell me how wrestling came into your life.
Oh gosh, that started actually about 15, 20 years ago, where I hooked up with this guy who said, "Oh yeah, I wrestle in my spare time." I said, "Really?" And I just found it to be a very intense way of not only exercising but also um, just to get your frustrations out almost. It's really, really interesting. And I started chatting online with other wrestlers and started having more matches. And then pretty soon I started doing some filming for Vertex here in the United States, GBW in Great Britain, as well as FFE. And pretty soon, in about 3 months, I'll actually be doing my first meet in Tokyo, of all places,
Oh, wow.
and I'll be doing some filming with one of the groups out there called UGW.
What's the biggest joy of being part of it, and what's the most challenging part about the wrestling world, in your opinion?
The most challenging is sizing up your opponent because you don't know what kind of skill set he's going to have unless you already are familiar with them. So when I
Right?
meet somebody for the first time, it's sort of like, okay, let's see what you got. Um, and for me, it's not about winning or losing. It's just about putting on a good show.
Amazing. Okay. Next question is, what is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh, I have to go old school on this one. My favorite one has got to be the Golden Girls. I mean, it's just, yeah, it hits so close to home. It's not even funny.
And what is about that gets your attention? What do you like the most about, what's
Well,
the
number
TV?
one, it's well written, and number two, the characters are so relatable. It's like you can identify with them. If you're in a cranky mood, you could be Dorothy. If you're in a dreamy mood, you could be Rose. If you're in a horny mood, you could be Blanche.
Which one of those you are more like attached to? Like
I'm Blanche,
yeah?
definitely. Oh yeah.
Why, why is that?
Probably because we've had about the same number of men in our lives.
Wow, that was straightforward answer. Love
Yeah.
it. Next question. Hey, Peter. Next question is, do you know anyone who is living their life to the fullest?
That's a good one. Not offhand. No, I think a lot of people have not really tapped their full potential. I know I certainly haven't. So, um, people who have lived their lives to the fullest would be, people like Betty White. She definitely, I mean, she lived almost to be 100 and she was still working. And probably also, too, great statesmen or great stateswomen who, rose above it all and were able to make lives better for everybody else, I think.
What's the meaning of life for you?
Life is constantly full of surprises, and you have to be able to recognize each one as they come and handle them your best way possible. There's no roadmap to life. This is not a dress rehearsal.
Saying that, what's the biggest surprise that life has introduced to you so far?
Uh, Biggest surprise I think was probably um, getting out of my comfort zone and attempting to do things that, you know, I'm sure other people would be shocked at. But I've always been a risk taker, and I've always been an optimist.
Mhm.
So I always tend to always look for the best things to do and then do them.
Amazing. Next question. Ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Before the next one, tell me how was growing up as a gay boy back in, the 70s. You mentioned that you grew up and in Houston at the time.
Well, actually, I was a late bloomer. I knew that I had feelings as a gay teen, but I really never acted on them. And I really did not get together with a man until I was 22. So I
Right.
guess you can say I've been making up for lost time. So it really was not a big deal for me. I grew up just like every other kid did.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got out of college and I started in the workforce, that's when I really started acting on my impulses. And um, coming out was a bit of a experience for my parents, but they grew to embrace it. So that was a good thing.
Before you came out to your parents, do you think they knew it?
Oh, I'm sure they did. They just didn't want to admit it. I think that's with most parents. They know instinctively, okay, this kid's a little different, but we love him anyway. We just want him to be happy.
And which person in your family you feel more close right now? You feel more connected with?
Oh, definitely my sisters. My parents have long passed away, but they passed away in their 90s, so I have very good genes.
Oh, and
Mhm.
okay, so let's see that your sister is watching this interview right now, right this moment, and you have opportunity to send her a message. What would you say?
I would say, dear, you're probably wondering what I'm doing, and that's okay. But I
I
want you
love
to
it.
have a wonderful day and just be happy.
Oh, that's sweet, sweet,
Mhm.
amazing. Talk about childhood. Tell me, if you were to raise a child, what are the most important things would you like them to learn?
How to be independent,
Mhm.
how to be self-sufficient, and how to be mindful of others.
Wow,
Mhm.
cool. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Next question is, who is the most influential person in your life?
Right now,
Yeah.
oh God, I really don't have anybody, to be honest with you. If it would have been 4 or 5 years ago, I would have said my father, but of course he's gone now. But really, I don't have anybody influential per se. I've always said you should never meet your role models because you will be disappointed.
Yeah, I've heard that before actually. And why people say that? Why?
I think because you build up this idea of who they are and what they are, and then when you finally come face to face with reality, it's kind of humbling because you're like, wow, this person's just like everybody else. There's nothing special about him or her. So that's why you should never meet your role models. You should always worship from afar. So
Like that?
yeah, I get some wrestlers who meet me for the first time and just gush all over me, and I'm like, don't do that. I'm just like you. I'm just like everybody else. I appreciate it, but please don't put me on a pedestal.
I think at the same time come with pressure as well. I believe that,
Mhm.
but looking from the other side, I think people when they approach you, they say that they admire you for some reason. I think they mean it. And I know sometimes it's difficult to deal with. However, I think it comes from a good place.
It does.
Amazing. Two
Mhm.
questions left. Let's do
Okay.
it. Before the next question, Peter, tell me how, talk about wrestling again.
Mhm.
What wrestling has taught you so far?
It's given me a sense of balance. It's given me perspective. It's given me an outlet for my creativity.
Hmm.
It's also a big ego boost. I won't kid about that. It really does feel good to be known for something like that.
And in your opinion, what's the biggest misconception that people have from wrestlers? Yeah,
Mhm.
and what's something that they get right?
Biggest misconception is where they say, "Oh, that wrestling, that's all fake." No, it's not. It may be fake in terms of what the outcome may be or the scenario, but trust me, the bruises I have speak for themselves. You have to learn how to take a fall. You have to learn how to throw yourself down. You need to learn how to guide others so that way when they take the fall, that they're not hurt. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions. One of the things, though, that people do get right is that it is a test of strength. It's a test of opportunity and character. So when you are doing a match, even if it's pro style and there's already an agreed upon outcome, it's how you get to the outcome that's going to be unscripted. You know who's going to emerge victorious at the end. You just have to play it like a chess game and figure out what moves am I going to make to where this person wins.
And how often do you train? How often do you are
I
you
work
know?
out 3 times a week, and I usually try to do some sparring maybe once a month with friends. I'm on the this site called meatfighters.com. And if people want to look for me, the name is, of course, Peter Hughes. And they can see all the people that I've wrestled and all the experiences that I've had. I also have a channel that's linked to my Meat Fighters channel called Watch Fighters, and that's where I sell my videos. So
Amazing.
if people want to go check them out and purchase them, I would be very grateful.
Great. Next question is, what makes you really angry?
What really makes me angry are people who are very close-minded or people who think they know it all, but they don't.
Hmm.
Um, I found this cute quote the other day. It said, "People who think they know it all really piss off those of us who do."
I like that. Amazing. Last question, ready?
Ready?
Let's do it. Last one.
Yes.
Before the last question, tell me a moment or a situation through your wrestling career that you're never gonna forget. For some reason, always gonna have a special place in your heart.
I think it was the first time I actually flew to St. Louis when Vertex was around and got into the ring for the first time in 15 years. It was like, wow, this is like riding a bike. I can't believe this. And I was kind of nervous at first, but I was very blessed that I had 3 matches. The 3 opponents I had were exceptional, and they knew that I was a little rusty. They knew that I was, not at my peak. I mean, I wasn't 40 anymore, and I think they realized that, and they really really helped me with my self esteem in that. And I think that's why it carries over now that, after 4 years, I'm doing pretty well. I like it. I like to have people recognize the fact that, oh, I've seen you on Watch Fighters, or oh, I saw you on gbw.com and stuff like that.
Well, great. Last question is, tell us about your guilty pleasure.
Oh, guilty pleasure, definitely fine dining and food. Oh my God. See, growing up in a Greek household, and especially in the South here, where everybody cooks,
Wow.
I was introduced to a wide range of cuisines and foods. And so my guilty pleasure is just, even though it doesn't show it, I mean, I diet very strenuously, but, like today is Saturday, today is my cheat day. So this is where I go out and eat all the decadent food that I can before I start training again tomorrow.
Do you like cooking?
I love to cook, yes. I love to cook for friends because cooking for one is never easy. But when I've got 2 or 3 people over, I just love to like put together a nice dish for them, and they're always surprised at how, how fast it comes out and how it looks and tastes. So I'm happy about that. Both my parents were pros in the kitchen, so I come by that honestly.
And there's something that you can't eat at all, or you don't like eating?
Ooh, oh, my friends in the UK are gonna hate me for this. I cannot eat haggis at all. No, I refuse. I took one bite, I had to spit it out. It was, ugh. It's like I don't even. And it's the sad thing is, I want to go to Edinburgh for Hogmanay one of these days, just to do the bucket list. My ideal vacation is Christmas in London and then New Year's in Edinburgh, and taking the Caledonian sleeper car all the way. Um, that's on the list. But if someone offers me haggis, I'm like, no, forget it, forget it.
Amazing. Right, so then yes, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away
Okay.
words, just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay.
Let's start with money,
Power.
family,
What was that?
family,
Comfort.
life,
Good.
fear,
Falling.
love,
Always.
politics,
Dirty.
religion,
Holy.
sex,
Fun.
fun, friendship,
Good.
desire,
Passion.
regret,
A few.
success,
Constantly.
wish,
Peace.
happiness.
Joy.
One word for Houston,
Big.
one word for USA.
Welcoming.
The last one now, wrestling, one word.
Wonderful.
Let's pretend I'm going to meet your sister, that you mentioned during the interview, for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her. Define Peter in one positive word and one negative word only. What should say?
She'd probably say, for positive words, she'd say outgoing. And for negative, she would say introspective. Because I do have these moods where sometimes I feel like, going out and meeting people, and other days I just want to just stay home and read a book.
Interesting. Let's play now, Peter, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Before you ask me the question, tell me what's your favorite Greek word, your favorite Spanish word, and your favorite French word.
Okay. Let's start with French. L'amour. When I go to Paris or when I go to Montreal, it's like, it's like one big, love in almost. It's like everybody is just very genial. They're very outgoing. They're very passionate. In Spanish, my probably favorite word is comida. Simply because, Latin American cuisine is incredible. I mean, everything, and I can tell that you're from Brazil, so yeah. So yeah, for me, give me a couple of caipirinhas and some delicious Brazilian food, and I'm happy. And in Greek, my favorite word is taxidi, which means traveling.
Interesting. Amazing.
Yeah, because I love to travel.
Can you ask me a question now, Peter?
How has your experience been with interviewing guys all over the world? What have you been surprised about the most?
Good question, actually. What I have been surprised about the most? Okay, the answer it's how people around the world, we are so different. At the same time, we are very similar, literally. I think all of us, we have, I realized that everyone here on the show, or people that somehow, being part of it, I understand that you know, everyone is trying to be a better person. Everyone is trying to achieve something in their lives, a goal, or could be different goals, could be different, you know, things. However, I think all of us, we are here. We know that there's a journey that we are going through. At the same time as well, we just want to be a better person. That's the what I've realized that. But surprisingly, I I see that we are very different. How different we can be, you know, regards our background, the way we've been raised, the way religion, or you know, some culture, you know, background as well. We are so different, but deep there, over there, we are so similar. There's so much similarity between all of us that sometimes just talking to so many people being here on the show, I realize that. So yeah, that's my answer for you.
Cool.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I certainly did. I'm looking forward to seeing this on YouTube or on Instagram pretty soon. So yes.
Thanks again, Peter, for the interview. Thanks for being so kind and accepting my invitation. And it's amazing to see your passion, you know, from wrestling. I saw some of your videos, some of your pictures, and it's visible there. You know, I think it's when you do something with passion, even though people, they don't know you, but they can see it, they can spot it. That's something that you're meant to be doing. Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
I think my favorite motto to live by is just, do to others what you want them to do to you. And if you're positive and outgoing, you'll get that in return. What really bothers me is when I put effort into being kind and outgoing and it's rebuffed. And I think to myself, I gave you a gift and you basically threw it away. So I won't make that same mistake twice.
Amazing. Yeah, so Merry Christmas for you, to your family and friends, and keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay?
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Christmas.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.